Man. So capture, no, that's not the right one. Can nothing again? Yes. Okay. Now? Still nothing? Still nothing? Unbelievable. Hearing you. So you are hearing me now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my microphone lately. For some reason it keeps saying that it's muted all the time when I first, and the thing is, it shows the audio waves bumping up in OBS, but it doesn't like send it out. I don't know what's going on with that. So do forgive me. I'm just a noob streamer. This is like my first week, so it's always something. So we got TZ Flare. Let's go. I don't even know what players count this is on, but we'll be all right. Bring up some revives along the way this time, huh? I heard some. Oh, Sunday right off the bat. Doing a little walkie and slaying. I never do more than maximum 2 hours on the treadmill, though. Anytime I went longer than 2, my knees and my hips start hurting. Like 2 hours walking straight without a break. No break of any kind. See something back here that I wanted? Yeah, maybe that. Patrick, I'm not sure what you're saying there. Not sure. Welcome in everybody though. G-Stacks Lawn Bear Mark making colder. Patrick, what's up? Welcome in also. A Mewtwo. Maybe it's a fill bug. It could be. You're telling me it's operator error? There's no way. If anything, I would blame it on chat, personally. Personally, I would just blame it on chat. Gosh dang, dude, my phone blowing. Some scam people got my number. Stop calling me. I ain't answering. Archon staff. I did just find that Zod rune. Is this it? Obsession base, the perfect one? No. Solar flares? Oh, that's probably what it is. Yeah, solar flares over the last like week when my mic ain't been working right. Could be. The main thing is I know it's not my fault. Step one of being a content creator, streamer on YouTube and Twitch, make sure you always blame somebody else. It's like number one, like thing you got to do. Never your fault. Hooray, what's going on? Back in. Welcome back in. We've been playing a little bit of that Moon Beast game recently. It was cool the first day, but I'll be honest, now that I got a little more hang of it, it's definitely I had even more fun with it today than I did the other day. Now that I actually can do some stuff and it's not just like, even though I died like 7 times per usual, but it was of course chat's fault that I died. So oh, what, you got all that in one game, like without saving and exiting or anything? I'm gonna say that's a lot of stuff to find in one game. I mean, you must have been doing that's a lot. You still in? Okay, I wasn't sure how far the Terror Zone went, so bring a couple of these guys up just to distract. Yeah, that's a crazy amount. Crazy amount. Ooh. This density is spectacular right here. Oh man, I have to get to the gym here in the near future. Hey, maybe I'll even go later tonight. What am I doing? I'm gonna sit on my phones or watch TV or something. I should go to the gym later. Should I do Trav for Enigma? You could. I hate it, but it depends if you want my personal preference or me to recommend a way that would work that you choose. So, hold up! Wow, I like that small charm. Woo! 7 MF, 9 poison res. We love, you can never get enough 7 MFers. But coming on with poison res, Energy Shield Novasaur is getting hot and bothered looking at this, I'll tell you that much. That is awesome. I mean, I would prefer 11, but I mean, how much we gonna beg about that one, am I right? Running D-Web. I am. Oh, I forgot I moved this stuff over. I don't have any, my Merc's just completely naked. That's hilarious. Go get that stuff, huh? There was a TZ Mephisto the other night, and I ran it like off stream, shockingly enough. Merc just no gear. Can't have too many MF small charms, am I right? Especially when they're stacked up with res on it. Holy moly, I am a million degrees. I need to turn this fan up to 11. Hold on. I almost need to go turn the AC on. Whew, it is so hot. I think I'm just a little, whew, after that small charm I found, getting a little hot and bothered. You know what it is. Woo. Ray said he liked the Moonbeast stream. Glad you liked it. Glad you liked it. Yeah, pretty neat game. Pretty neat game. Between the like jumping, it's almost like almost got a platforming aspect to it, like a platformer type aspect. And then the whole like almost the entire world is like destructible almost. So you can almost like, we used to do stuff like that in there was a game back in the day of the shooter, so it was easier. You just like take a rocket launcher, unlimited rockets, and blast through the walls. But a game called Red Faction back in the day, where you could build your own sniper nests and stuff. You'd like blast up into the wall and come back out, and you could build your own little sniper nest up in the wall of like a canyon or something. But you can kind of burrow around like that and stuff if you really wanted to, and who knows what they could all do with that. It's such early, you know, pre-alpha for it or whatever. So Hamdan tossing out his opinion there, saying cows, the first cows over Trav. Oh, sorry, I was right in the middle. I didn't finish my sentence, did I? My apologies. So Trav can work, but I prefer single player LK, and if you're not doing single player, if you're online, obviously of course trading is going to be the fastest thing. Yeah, I would just run whatever areas that you enjoy farming the most and kill monsters as fast as you can. Kind of my recommendation. Because it's such a crapshoot. I've done times when I ran, geez, I don't know how many runs to cows, 150 cow runs, and got like nothing. Highest rune was like I got like one ist and like an and that's like hours and hours and hours and hours. So yeah, that's just personal preference of my own. Run LK on single player, and if you can't do that for one reason or another, don't want to, can't, then I would just pick your favorite 85 area, the pits, cast sanctuary. Hopefully you get lucky with a D-Web or a Griffins or something else you can, you know, and yeah, that's kind of my fave opinion there. Festa Zombie, welcome in. Faith or Windforce for Boazon. Ooh, I mean, I'm not much of a Bozon player, but just for nostalgia's sake, I would say Windforce. Which one's actually better, dealing more damage? Yeah, I can't necessarily tell you. Probably the Faith, I guess. Or don't people put Windforce on... Put one bow on their character, put Faith on an Act 1 mercenary? That seems to be my remembrance. We all know how my memory works, though, huh? Can you pick it up, please? Thank you. How many characters do you have? And it's 24 max, right? So, sorry, Slapshot, I didn't get that from a minute ago. It took me a second to get to your question. So I'm on offline single player, so you can have infinity, as far as I'm aware. Online, you can have as many as you want, or 24 maximum. But on offline single player, you can just 170 trillion. Now, there's probably a number where it starts causing problems, but I've never heard of it. As far as I'm aware, you can do as many as you want. I forgot those guys. Why is this one guy not dying? Strange. He's invincible. $45 life, 40 mana Grand Charm. Sad it's on single player. This is great. Single player is the best place to play. I guess if you're one of the people trying to make money selling items online, I guess maybe. If I do pits or chaos, does the player's difficulty boost the odds? The odds of runes? Yeah, they. So it makes it more likely, having a higher players count makes it more likely for the game to decide to drop an item from a monster. So the more times an item could drop, just the more likely the chance would be that it's a rune. So a high rune of some kind. Yeah, that's only unless you really cannot kill players 7 or 8 or whatever you're going to be playing on quickly. If it's like super crazy slow and you're like dying and stuff, then you're actually like losing out. So if you have a really good character, you want to do the higher players count, I guess, if you can. But a lot of times, if you don't have really good gear, it can be, you know, kind of a struggle. Like personally, I would rather do players like 3 super fast than do players 8 like super slow. So I don't ever do the math like, oh, technically I cleared this fast, so I just do it by feel, just from like, you know. Or sometimes I just do it by what feels more fun at the time. This is wild, to be honest. Belrune, oh, we're out of the TZ anyways. We'll call it. You gonna play that game you were the other day a lot? Well, we can only play it. Oh shoot, I just hit the save and exit macro roll. On accident. It's only gonna be quote unquote unavailable. I believe the day was the 15th is the final day that we can play it. I'm not gonna play it every day or anything. Let's see, I'm not sure how much I'll play it. I can't give you an exact number or whatever, but yeah, it's only available to the 15th. So, you know, any amount that I do want to play it, I have to get in until then. So I have to get it in by then. And then, you know, I don't know. They'll do some other test betas in the future, whether it's a few months from now or whether it's a year or two or however long from now they decide or whatever. So, whoops. What did I hit here? There we go. Couldn't remember what the button was. Let's bring up some of these. Even a whole bunch of them, why not? $33 says the Countess Guide helped a lot. Glad it helped you out. Thanks for watching the vids. Cool. Love hearing that they help people out, you know. I definitely learned a lot from them, you know, all the other people in the community over the years. So I'm glad that maybe a thing or two I put out there does help people. Don't forget to hit the like button on YouTube. Good call, Nightbot. Love Nightbot. Great guy. Never misses a stream. Juno says, wait a second. Should we play the game in a way that's most fun to us? Bold strategy, Cotton. Right? Yeah, there's definitely sometimes it's like that. I'm like, they're like, why are you on this character and you're only doing players 3, bro? Like, I'm like, I was having to like pay attention and it was boring. I really did not want to have to pay attention that much. I want to slay demons. I want the items to drop and I want to see if they're good or not. But I don't want to pay too much attention. I want to chat it up with chat. I just want to relax. That's the sweet fill method right there. Hamdan said, followed the Hammerden guide, but missing the Enigma. That is the toughie. That is the toughie. Get yourself a Nage's Puzzler. The set staff. Throw that on swap. I can help you out. You just use the teleport charges when needed. Can be a big help though. Probably want to get my. Also make sure your battle orders are up if you got it. Unlike Phil. Best rune to put in a Haas, you're thinking more res. So that is, I have done that before. I think that's usually what I go with, yes. Now I think about it. I think the rune. If not, if I'm mistaken, I guess it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility. Gray says don't do 7 or don't do players 8 here, responding to a comment. Yeah, if you're on single player, there's the drop rates are identical on offline single player between 7 and 8 for anybody, anyone who didn't know that. So there's no reason to really do players 8 unless you want to gain experience fast. Siri, yo, doing good. Hopefully you're doing great as well. Welcome in, everybody. Whew. Man, it is hot. I honestly want to go turn my AC on just to make my basement colder. Because usually the basement's freezing, but not today. When we have the windows open, the AC off, it's actually hot down here. Turn the AC on, it's instantly like 30 degrees in my basement. Oh, there goes all my summons. It's got the loof. Jordan is working on the gear for his Zealot. Not one that I play too often, but yeah, Zealot, interesting. I remember playing one back in the day before I made content. The last time I played a Zealer, really. Not a ton of AoE there for my Holy Grail blasting. But yeah, it could be real fun. Lunchtime, Fishaholic, welcome in. It's around that time. A little late lunch, huh? A little too something. Feeling the Stairmaster? I wish. If I had some giant... Imagine if my standing desk went up like 7 feet so I could stand on a Stairmaster. I honestly like doing the stairs like way more. I'm just on it's called a walking pad. It's pretty much a treadmill that doesn't go very fast, essentially. It maxes out at like a super fast walk. I think it goes up to 3.8, I think. So Phil's JC. So I just started blasting. Yeah, it's because my house isn't very new. My house is built in 64. So the insulation's not that great. I mean, I could pay the money to get the insulation redone or whatever, right? But the insulation's not great. So it gets real hot upstairs, and I don't think the attic like vents very well. So it like the inside the attic just becomes like like an oven up in there, and it just keeps the whole house hot. So I need to get, hopefully I need to get the roof redone still, and hopefully when I get the roof redone here, I'll talk to him, and it's not a lot of money or whatever, and I'll have him put in some vents up there. Hopefully that helps out. All right. Whew, man. I'm about to be sweaty Phil after this, I'll tell you what. Boy, yeah, someone come over and turn my AC on for me, so I don't have to get off stream. It's not a beer, it's just a different kind of drink. It's a can, so it's got to be alcohol, huh? Cardio and beer. Let's go. Not cheap to remodel a house. 80 to 100K remodeling the outside of yours. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's you're creeping up on, not really the exact amount, but you're creeping up on how much I paid for my house. So speaking of things I'm not doing, is spending 80 to 100K on anything for my house. Your grandma was also built in 64? Interesting. Your grandma's house, or literally your grandma? Because you're saying she was born then. Oh, YOLO, teleport out. I was getting hit up. Hit up. These guys are sick for getting revives out of there. Come on. You guys melt already? The champ died first. Interesting. Yeah, Fishaholic 2011 for 196. What is this? Yeah. Impressive. It's definitely, I don't know where you live necessarily, but it's probably doubled that since then, I'm guessing. Good old housing costs. That's one of those catch-22s, because new people to get a house, they don't want the housing prices. They want the housing prices to go down, but if you own a house, do you really want the housing price to go down? If you think about it, really, the only time it matters how much you pay for your house, not literally, but the time that's most important is when you buy your first house. Because after that, you know, you sell your house for how much it's worth and you put that down on the next one, right? So it's much more consequential what the price is when you buy your first house. Unless you're just buying a bunch of houses, but... G-Stack said they probably spent like 100K remodeling yours. Jeez, yeah, well... I guess it depends where you live too and stuff like that. It sounds like a lot of money though. I'm not really the remodel type either, I guess. I'm more of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of guy. But that's why I need to get the roof redone. It's gonna cost me a lot more money if I don't get it done sooner rather than later. Boy, it's crazy. Mario Mark said 100K on an exterior remodel. Who has this kind of money? Not content creators, I can tell you that much. Jeez. TJ Joker over on Twitch says he wants the housing price to go down. I'm old and I don't have a house. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, if you don't have a house, of course you want the price to go down, right? Like, for sure. Yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it. As someone who does own a house, personally, I want my house to be worth $7 million. Why can't 1,000 square foot, homes that are one floor be worth $7 million right now? Small, yo! Welcome in. No, you're all good, TJ. Don't need a remodel. You're fine. G-Stack says. Appreciate you, yeah. Sweet Phil makeover is what we need, huh? Hair plugs. Liposuction. Butt cheek implants. Whole 9 yards. Storos, very odd and dumb question. I'm not sure why you would ask a weird, dumb thing like that. Fishaholic says they cost too much in Cali. I think talking about the houses. Yeah, for sure. Twisted Movie said it's like impossible for anyone to buy a house nowadays unless they're already wealthy. It does take more sacrifice nowadays, I'll tell you what. Man, that's one thing a little bit different than what you were saying there, but man, when I bought my house, people were essentially saying the exact same thing, and it's doubled in price since then. They're like, you might get stuck in the mortgage. Housing prices are so expensive right now. Like, wait till the prices go down. That's what people used to say to me when I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. I'm buying my house. Because probably 10 years prior to that, everyone was like, oh, you don't know if you don't buy a house right now. You don't know if you get stuck in the mortgage. What if the housing prices go down? And at the time, they didn't know if they'd go down more. Because we're talking like 2012. I was looking at buying foreclosed houses like in the town I grew up in. They were like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for like foreclosed houses in the town that I grew up in. This little town that I grew up in. And I was going to buy one for cash. And I got talked out of it. It was very disappointing. 8 years later when a lot of my friends had bought houses and moved into them. 5 years went by and then they sold like their 1,000 square foot house they bought, or their 1,400 square foot house they bought. They sold that and used that for a down payment on like a 3,000 square foot like mansion house. I was like, gosh dang it. You bought a house for $40K and you sold it for $170. Ah, dang. Live and learn though, huh? When I buy my house, it's been about 9 years, maybe about 9.5 years ago. So 9-10 years, something like that. Just before my daughter was born, I was like, we need somewhere to live. Listen here, lady. Missed the glitch wand? No, I didn't miss it. Don't remember what it is. I forget now, but nothing I need 5 years into an offline single player account personally. Oh, sorry, you're Gray up here a minute ago. Yeah, I'm rocking the D-Web. I still have been super mega lazy Phil. I haven't socketed it yet. I gotta get on it. Just been lazy. I've been doing a lot of other stuff. Made another fancy football video I posted up on that other channel. Been kind of dealing with some of the Moonbeast game stuff, which doesn't seem like it should take any time, but I don't know how to do anything right, and stuff like that. So mortgage ends in January, huh? So you're gonna pay off your house. Interesting. Well, congrats on that. It depends on, and this is just my own financial take, not financial advice, but depending on what your mortgage interest rate is, if you got one of the current ones or maybe even an older one and you didn't refinance, it's like 7% or something, you should probably pay it off. But yeah, I have my interest rate is like 2.6 or something like that, I think. I have to look at it again. It's almost like fiscally irresponsible to pay off, to be honest. TJ says mega investment groups are ruining the housing situation. A little bit. I both think that they are a problem, and also I think they're a little bit overblown as well. There's certain instances where you'll hear these bad stories, but the biggest thing that I see, and you know, I'm just some guy on the internet who's playing a video game saying things. So don't get mad at me. This is my take. I think that it's just so much more profitable to build large, expensive homes and stuff like that, that they don't even build houses anymore that are priced for people to buy. Like around where I live, all the new subdivisions, like my house is built in '64. That's why it's the size it is. A 3-bedroom, you know, 1-level ranch with a basement. All the houses they build around me now, and all the subdivisions around me, are like 3,700 square foot, $625,000 starting price. Like the cheapest ones in the sub. That's how they all are nowadays. And I mean, maybe that's localized to just my area. You know, maybe I could be biased based upon just my anecdotal evidence. It's very possible. Very possible. Favorite character to rush to large against single player? Well, I mean, it's got to be the sorceress, bro. Teleport. Got to be. Get off me. Why? This thing think it's doing? Unbelievable. Got to be the end of the thing, right? Yeah, I probably missed some of this thing. Got to be Sork. New to the content, Steven, welcome in. Did I hear you say you were also from Michigan? Oh yeah. Yep. I live, we'll just say, I don't get into too much detail, but suburbs of Detroit, we'll call it. So I don't live in like the UP or anything. I live in the suburbs of Detroit. Ish. One time I said that, I was like, yeah, something like the suburbs of Detroit, you know? And some guy was like, do you know this road and you know this area? And I'm like, yeah, I know where that is. And he's like, oh, I live here. And I was like, and the guy was like, it was like less than a mile from my house. I was like, whoa, ho, ho, ho. Oh boy, that's crazy. Twisted Movie says the city council where he lives in Vegas denies affordable housing permits. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, localese like that, I don't necessarily know anything about, but yeah, that's really too bad. Real too bad, in my opinion. I mean, if I hypothetically, I'm some guy in my basement playing video games, but if I was somebody in power, I would literally do the exact opposite. I would make sure there'd be some law that for every, like, for permitting, for every, like, one house that's, like, over X amount of the average, like, income of people in the city or whatever, you have to build one house that's, like, affordable housing, like, within reach of an average person. I would, like, require it by law. So if there's all these rich houses for billionaires, well, people who make, like, you know, $500,000 a year, which is, like, how many people in the world, you know? You'd have to build one house that was, like, you know, reasonable. That's what I'd do. How's JJ McCarthy going to be doing for the Vikings? Great question. I think he's going to be all right. Their coach, I'm assuming you're a Vikings fan. I forget his name now, but I mean, the coach just seems to get it done with whoever's in the, you know, calling plays for whoever's the quarterback. I mean, what was his name? Dobbs or whatever was getting like 18 fantasy points a game. Even when he was in there, he pulled Sam Darnold up from his bootstraps and got him rocking and rolling. So, like, geez, I think he'll be all right. $500,000 median house in Vegas. Yeah, I don't think Vegas was that expensive. Obviously, I just don't know. I do remember, and this was a few years back now, when we went, and this is Hawaii, so a different situation, of course, but I don't remember if it was the median or the cheapest houses in Hawaii, but there was I think it was the median. Ooh, well, it was like $1 million, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess. I got, limited land available, so Hawaii is freaking awesome, by the way. Just awesome. 72 degrees and sunny every day. The sun rises and sets at the same time all day, every day, all year. Which is kind of good and bad, I guess. Silver Edged X. Cody said he's a Mara's and a D-Web away from his Poison Nova Necro being a boss. Nice. Yeah, I should probably get that on too. This one's got a little res on it. I know it's behind chat a little bit, but I needed the FCR to get to a breakpoint that I felt comfortable with. Only 0.05% make 500K in the world per year. Wouldn't be building a lot of houses. Well, those $500,000 houses, I don't know, maybe, and I live around Detroit. Do you think Detroit's the richest area? That's all they build around here. Even if you buy a condo, which it means no property, you're just buying a condo. You're buying an apartment, essentially, is what it is. They're $340,000, $520,000 and stuff like that. You're not finding a condo that's 80 grand. Even a condo where you don't get the property, it's a 650 square foot condo or 800 square foot condo. They're $300,000 on the cheap end. Crazy. Anybody want to run some chaos on console? Steven's asking there. Any console players out there? Brandon says Kevin O'Connell, the coach of Minnesota Vikings, went to his high school. Interesting. Interesting. Whew. Yeah, I can just imagine all the calories I'm burning right now. I'm probably so skinny right now. Gustavo wishes he had a D-Web. Keep plugging away. You'll get one. You'll get one. So, let's see. Ethereal Mage Plate. I don't really know that that's going to be worth anything. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying I don't know. I kind of lean towards it's not, because the idea of a Mage Plate, let's see, you do have a lower strength requirement technically with it being ethereal. You can't make Enigma, and at 3 sockets you could do a Treachery. It's not gonna, I don't think it's really gonna be worth a lot, but anyone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not confident in that statement. I'm not the valuing item guru by any means. You make 33K a year, you're in the top 1% of annual income worldwide. Yeah, worldwide kind of, I don't know how that number is calculated either. I've heard stuff like that. Is that adjusted for currency differences and whatnot? And cost of living adjustment or whatever? Because, when a pound of ground beef, in some South American country, costs 15 reals or something. I'm just making up numbers. I don't know how much that really is, but when you calculate it over, it's $1.50 American. You know what I mean? It's so much cheaper for stuff because everyone's so poor. I don't know necessarily how they calculate that number. But also, how many people in the world, I wonder too, don't make any money? They just farm their own food and stuff, Oh yeah, who knows? Just got a D-Web minus 50 res, but 1 skill. That's all right. Let's see, the 50 is the max right on the minus res. So, I mean, I would probably have the max minus res. If you could choose the worst minus res, but the best skills, or the lowest skills and the best minus res, I would take the minus res. Personally, I guess I'm out of the player jungle here. moved out of our condo. We rented for 6 years. In August, the owner wanted to sell it. I didn't think 350 was worth a 700 square foot condo built in the 70s, but it sold sight unseen in a day. Yeah, the housing market can be pretty crazy. I don't know how it is now, but even when this was almost 10 years ago now when we bought, if you didn't get your offer in on the first day that a house went on the market, and your offer had to be whatever they were asking. So usually the people, when they sell houses, the asking price is like the most somebody could get a loan for from the bank based upon how much it would appraise for. If you didn't make an offer like 10 or 20 grand over the asking price, so you get a loan for, like, let's say hypothetically a house costs you 200 grand, you had to bid 220,000, and then you get a $20,000 loan from the bank and put your down payment that you give to the bank, and then another 20 grand on top of that to go towards the homeowner that you were buying the house from. If you didn't do that, you couldn't buy a house, essentially. So I ended up getting lucky with my house because the homeowners were dumb and their realtor was dumb too. None of them knew about this. So I bid a whole bunch more over the asking, like the 20 grand, and then I couldn't get a loan for it. So after you can't get the loan, you like renegotiate the terms of the thing. So then I ended up being able to talk them down. So I ended up saving like 10 grand or so on the house from, you know, so. Get one of those cameras where it follows you instead of doing the treadmill, doing squats. I actually do have one of those cameras that follows me. I just have it turned off all the time because I don't want it right now to be like, you know, as I'm stepping and moving ever so slightly, the camera just is like rocking back and forth. But I thought about turning it on because I have a camera that's on it called the gimbal, and it has the AI like tracking. You can pick it to track your head / your face. You can have it for some reason to track your legs, track your hands. Like it's kind of strange, to be honest. Why would you want a AI tracking camera that tracks your lower body? Is it specifically designed for like foot people or something? Like I don't know what? I don't know, but it has the functionality, I guess. So yeah. See, Gustavo, sorry, I'm getting a little behind in the comments. I am trying to catch up. You guys know me, I try to read every comment if I can and I don't miss anything. So, but says he made a decon with a summon necro. Didn't know if it was a total new play. You felt poison was weaker than summons, huh? Here's my opinion. I've done it. I've done runs without having a D-web before. I use a Heart of the Oak. I think that summon and poison is probably about the same strength with a Heart of the Oak and not having a D-web. But if you have a D-web, poison is faster, in my opinion. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? No good. Just grab one of these. Summons fall off on higher players count. Poison kind of does too. That's what on poison with a Heart of the Oak, I would never do higher than players 3 personally. And yeah, I don't really do summons higher than P3 either. So I guess that kind of checks out for what I generally said before anyway. And that's just, I never do number calculations. I do strictly by like feel, so. 259. I don't think the next Terror Zone's a good one, so we'll probably be jumping some of them pits, hopefully getting lucky again. Roll full helm. Because we can go ahead and pull the D-web and we'll hit these guys, and you can see it still works. And this is player 7 too. These guys are real weak monsters though, right? Oop. It still works. This is kind of a weaker area, though. This is almost, I would say, these are like players 3 monsters in normal areas, to be honest. Jail barracks. I could do that, but I feel like maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Swish said he worked with somebody who had auto zoom on their camera and it'd always zoom in and out. Nice. Yeah, that one, I think the one I got, it doesn't have auto zoom, but it has, what does it have? It has a thing where like you can do with your hands, and you can do like, you know, on a phone you zoom in like this or zoom out. You can do that both with your hands. You can go like this and it'll zoom in, and you can go like this, and or maybe the other way, zoom out. So you can, like, while you're talking, zoom in and out and stuff. I don't know how good it works. I've never used that before, so probably will never, but Twisted said he maxed out revives for summons. That'd make them last longer. The revives, I think I remember doing that in the past. Not the way I generally go nowadays. I just use them for kind of a one-point wonder if I need them for certain instances. Yeah, maybe we'll get after it here, huh? Gustavo. So if you had an absolutely perfect white wand, I could see the argument there. The only thing is that for sometimes the ease of getting is like a big deal. Obviously, you have to find the right white wand base. Get all them plus skills and stuff. So you can get more plus skills, and it's probably better. But most people just like have a Heart of the Oak laying around already, or you know, it's just super basic, super standard. Go to here, get this, you got a Hoto kind of thing. So Shadow Green, welcome in. How was Moonbeast? I only got to watch a few minutes of the stream. It's pretty cool. You know how I'm like anti-change guy, so I'm gonna be honest. The first day was a little bit, we'll call it frustrating. You know, I'm not great at learning all the brand new mechanics of a game and stuff like that. I don't find it enjoyable. It's not, you know, I'm anti-change guy after all, and even D2R. So, but today actually I enjoyed it more now that I know how to do stuff, and I'd find things. I'm like, oh, and I throw it on, and instantly you feel more powerful and stuff. So, close. I liked it a little bit more today, even after you know. Is Bramble worth it? I cannot. I would much rather have teleport than have whatever you get on Bramble for whatever build you're playing. Is that the minus bunch of poison res on it or whatever? I can't remember if Bramble. Yeah, that's one with a bunch of minus res on it, right? Or is it plus skill damage actually? Is it plus or minus? Plus or minus? Plus or minus? Someone's gotta help me out. Don't remember. Gotta have teleport though. Yeah, teleport elite for repositioning summons and mercenary. True story. Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at when I couldn't remember what's on Bramble. That's not the one with thorns or something, is it? I'm just completely mistaken. Leo, I don't know what those letters stand for. Oh, man, I might not be able to do 2 hours today. My legs are feeling funky. It's been an hour? Boy, I'm gonna have to call it after an hour here. I don't know why my legs are feeling funky. Man, I've been feeling real old lately. Good luck, have fun. Oh, don't die. Good luck, have fun. I forgot about that one. Usually no one says that to me, so. I appreciate you, Leo. Lilu. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think after this run, I'm going to call it a day on the tread. Yeah. Old man Phil. Can't even walk for over an hour. Great. I think probably because it's so hot, too. Legs feeling stanky? I mean, I don't know, stanky. Ooh, perfect. Of the opposite variety. Can we eat some monsters or no? No monsters. All right, let's get out of here. Whew. Gray saying barracks, cold plains, then Durance. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Durance, okay, that's like exactly when I was gonna get off. Usually I get off around 5, do dinner and stuff like that. I could probably play a little bit longer. My wife and my daughter are doing something today. Hold on, I gotta stop the treadmill and everything. I'm so old. Oh my gosh, I can't even walk more than an hour now. What is going on? You know, I'm gonna be honest. I almost feel like ever since I started taking this, my doctor put me on high blood pressure medication because I'm an old man. And honestly, I feel like I get tired faster ever since I've been taking it, which has only been like not even a month. Boy, give me a second. I almost feel like a little dizzy. Roll this out of the way. Ugh. There we go. Here, let me just adjust the monitor over here. Just adjusting the light. Oh, okay. Got that adjusted. Oh man. I generally don't feel very good now. Old man Phil, I'm brand new. I don't know about that. Don't know about that. Luke. I mean, it's usually fine. I've been using this. What I've had this thing for like 9 months now, so I was always fine before, but now the last like couple of weeks, and it's not even the treadmill. I haven't used this treadmill in a couple of weeks. I only walk on it when I'm streaming, when I don't go to the gym. I actually go to the gym and use a stair climber usually to try to get cardio in, or I lift, you know, heavy stuff, you know. I pick things up and I put them down. If you know what I mean. I was watching this, so fantasy football best ball. I was watching a YouTuber that does that as their content, and he was saying, he's like, I don't do legs. For some reason in the best ball community right now, they're all talking about like working out and like what they prefer to do working out and stuff, and kind of jokingly debating it, sort of, you know, because they're all buddies with each other. And yeah, this guy's like, no, I don't do legs. I bench and do shoulders this day, and I do this. I'm like, oh my god, you just completely skip legs like altogether. Not even like you don't do it often and you think you should, like you just don't do legs intentionally all the time. That's wild. Ketamine, okay. I don't think I'll illegally take a controlled substance personally, but you know, to each their own. Never take seriously what you say. That's the rules. I'll try to keep that in mind, Jordan. I'll be honest, sometimes I read the comments so fast I don't see who says them. Or sometimes I'll go back and double check. I'm like, wait a sec, who said that? Chicken legs don't look good. Yeah, the guy said that his legs are like so huge relative to his rest of his body that that's why he stopped even, like, that's why he doesn't do legs. But I was sitting here thinking like, oh yeah, sure they do. Guys are just well known for having thick thighs, right? I mean, it's possible. Everyone's different. Everyone's different, but yeah, I guess he's just naturally thick. Oh boy. DP says he'll be 100 rockin' Phil stream. What a legend. We're gonna keep slaying. DP. Appreciate you. Don't forget YouTube. Hit that like button for me. Much appreciated. You know you want to. Only bummy schmucks don't hit the like button. Bummy schmucks. And who wants to be a bummy schmuck? What does that mean? It's not good, though, I can tell you that much. Let's see, we had the Hall of Fame game. Is there regular preseason games coming up this week for NFL? I think there might be. Regular preseason games. Boy, I'm almost scared with the NFL coming around, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Because now I like have to spend time watching football. Have to. So it's like, man, where am I gonna get all this extra time from? Am I right? Lions Friday. Well, the Lions played the Hall of Fame game. They can't play again on Friday already, can they? No way. I don't really know, but that doesn't sound logical. Or was that last Friday you're talking about, Ed? I'm trying to put the piece together. I don't really know the schedule, so I guess I could never say for sure. I think the Cowboys will sign Micah Parsons. Boy, I'm starting to think. I thought before like they'd have to be idiots, but I'm sorry, any Jerry Jones stands out there. Jerry Jones might be an idiot. I seen a report, and I don't know how accurate it is. I didn't actually read it. This is a headline type of situation. I read the headline, but the headline was like, Jerry Jones thinks Micah Parsons is bluffing or something. And if that's true, and Micah, Parsons hears that, oh yeah, well listen here, bleep bleep, So maybe this Friday versus the Falcons, says that. Okay, wow. This Friday already again. The Falcons, ooh, that's kind of interesting. I wonder who they're going to be all playing. Atlanta will, if they're going to be like, give Penix some run since he's only played a few games last season, or not. Interesting. 8 on Saturday, 2 black eyes, kind of put in the schedule there with how many games each day. Interesting. 8 on Saturday. Those suckers are all spread out. For some reason, I thought that in the preseason they just stuck them all on Sunday. That's the way my brain told me, anyways. It appears to be very inaccurate, but that's what I thought they just put them all on Sunday or something. Serial might have level 85 or 87, so Tyrell's Might TC87, and it is the most rare, unique item in the entire game. Yeah, so the pits, you have to drop it off one of them champs down there. How do you have pets from the area? Pets from the area. Pets from the area. Oh, you're talking... I don't know why, but I'm like, why Dorian, why do you think I can't have pets around Detroit? I don't understand what you mean. Okay, I get you. I just put 1 point into revives because revives inherently kind of stay alive pretty good. So you take them down and you just bring some of these up. It's just down here on the skill tree. Kind of behind me, but 1 point into revive on the very bottom of the skill tree, right behind my head, right here. Yeah. Randy, welcome in. Doing pretty good. Hopefully you're doing good as well. Nice day out. It's sunny. I'm in my basement. You know, slaying some demons, playing video games. I can't complain. Welcome in. Hope you have a great day. Ooh, no.
VP Canada donated 109
What?
Bulgarian left and 99 Stovinkers through Super Chat. Thank you for all the past, present, and future slaying Phil. Treadmill or wheelchair, we ain't going nowhere, right, fellas? Sign of the horns, light skin tone. Sign of the horns, light skin.
Sign of the horns, light skin tone. Boy, when I start doing merch again, that's gonna be a t-shirt. It's not gonna have this. It's gonna say sign of the horn, light skin tone on it. It's like the most god tier rock concert shirt ever. Or maybe have the emote and say that underneath it. But either way, holy smokes for the super chat. Thank you so much for the generosity. DP. That's, I don't know what that translates out to exactly, but that color is like $100 American. Or is it 50? I can't remember. Either way, either one is huge, massive super chat. Thank you so much for the generosity. I don't even know what to say, but just thank you so much, man. Oh, I know what to say. DP keeps the lady. Yeah, it's Bulgarian monies. 65 bucks. Very generous for sure. Any good Terror Zones coming up, Angry Kitty asks. There is a TZ Mephisto on offline single player here in about an hour and 40 minutes. Hour and 52 minutes or whatever it is. Hour and 42 minutes, I mean, something. But I don't think I can play till then. I already streamed for over 2 hours earlier playing that the Moon Beast game. And then I'm going to be playing for more hours here. And then, you know, I got the rest of my life to live, so. Buy an old 80s or 90s jogging suit and windbreaker, wear it on stream. I could. The only issue is it's hard to find anything old in my size. Not that I'm a giant. I'm just above average slightly in size. So it's hard to find things that are, you know, it's hard to find a track. Like, imagine finding one of those full 80s or 90s track suits in the bright, like fluorescent windbreaker looking colors. But I'm 6'3". So it's hard, you know, it's tough. The struggle's real. So I'm 6'3", 230 nowadays, so packing the pounds on. Yeah, 6'3", 230 of just hulking. jacked manliness or something. I don't know. I was trying to make a joke. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah. Cody said, rune. Just found an rune. Congrats on that. Nice little mid rune. Never mad about it. Never mad. See if there's anything around. I think I found, did I find a Vex the other day out here, or was it, I don't remember. So. Extreme bro found a Cham rune. Put it in his areas. I've been looking for weeks. You've been looking for weeks and you finally found one? Man, that's actually crazy if you're looking for one for weeks and you find it. Like, they're super uncommon. Really good for certain instances, such as your chammed area. It's go to the use of it. But yeah, usually whenever you want to find something, you never find it. You're like, oh no, I found another Jaw rune. No, I have 12 of them. Just give me something. Oh, I'm just looking for a lem or something like that, you know? That's usually how it goes. Arnoriel says, to this day, get off me. Why? Thing. Sorry, my bad. This fly just keeps, it's stupid. It lands on me and it just like sits there and it won't, like, I don't want to squish the fly on me, but I might as well just go and get it because it's so dumb. But sorry about my important thing to say. Never found a high rune, but thanks to your vids, I soloed Ubers for the first time this week. Nice. So I'm guessing you took one of the budget builds or something I put together if you never found a high rune and did Ubers too, not even just like a declone. Because Uber Mephisto can be a little bee. But congrats on that. Hopefully you got the torch you're looking for. Got that 1 in 7 chance. Hopefully you got lucky and got the one you wanted. Chicho! What's going on? Says DP Crazy. True story. True story. Found Ja 2 days ago from Trav. Says Mutu. Congrats. Congrats. I think that's a conspiracy though. Is that even possible? No, sure. Just kidding. I'm just not a Trav fan. Parker, got my runes for infinity, but don't know what to socket it into. Should I do an F man catcher? If you're going to do an infinity, whether I would always do it in a base for your Act 2 mercenary, because then you can use it for like all the characters to work better, in my opinion. And you can always, you know, even if you make it in a Thresher, if you make it in a Ethereal Man Catcher, you can just use that on your Sorceress too. Yes, it is true. You will have to put more points than you would like to into strength and or dexterity, whatever base you end up putting it in. But I would say put it in the elite pole armor or the man catcher, like you said, and rock it. And then if you want to self-wield it on it for infinity Novasork, then do that. Because the infinity on your mercenary helping out all your characters, I think, is more important than just self-wielding on a unless you're only going to play Novasork, I suppose, but that doesn't sound like something I would want. Miss a small charm? There's no way, Brandon. There's no way. And then if I did, I want to stress it's chat's fault, so. Cody says, hot take, Mosaic needs to be changed. That's one of the least hot takes I've ever heard. Unless you're finishing that statement up by saying it needs to be more powerful. Then it's a hot take. Let's see. How far back was it? Oh, if this isn't a 3/20/20, consider yourself banned. Oh no. Accidentally found a 124 Shaco. Been farming for my second SOJ and Nightmare. Andy found it when she was terrorized. So you were hitting Nightmare, terrorized Andy, and you found a Shaco? That's funny. That's unexpected. Very, very unexpected. Got to run more cows for the base, says Parker. Best of luck. Hopefully you get it quick. Are you kidding me? Okay, so sorry if that was like a thud on the mic or something. The fly just landed right here. I don't know if you've seen that or not. I got some funny fly videos. I forget when chat cropped it too. I forget who did it. Probably Biv or it's probably Biv or somebody. It sounds like who would do it. But there was a fly and it was so huge and close to the camera. It was like, and you could see it, and it flew right and landed on my head, and they like clipped it. Oh my god. Man, I think there's, speaking of remodeling the house, I think I need to replace one of the doors in my house. I think the flies are getting in kind of through that. But it's so hard to do. I don't know. I've never replaced a door like this before. It's like it's an awkward size, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Like, I almost have to buy like a pre-hung door and rip out the molding and put the door frame and everything in there, and then put new molding on it. But it's like an awkward size because the house is so old. It's like a precise, like, custom sized door. I don't know. Anyways. Thresher. Mr. Thresher, huh? Unfortunate. Oh, no, you're saying Thresher about the base for Infinity somebody make. Nah. Gotcha. Got a little mixed up there, getting a little behind. Wanted to make a Frenzy Barb build with 2 lightsabers. Can they drop in Ethereal? Lightsabers cannot. I don't believe so. I believe that they cannot. I don't think Phase Blades can drop Ethereal, right? They have no durability. Also thought of putting an Amrune in to free up a slot for Leech. Yeah, I've definitely done that. I don't know about how, like, working the most spectacularly. You can run around a P1, take stuff out relatively good. Well, actually, if you put the Crushing Blow on, the amount of damage on the weapon is going to matter too much when doing things like I was going to say. The first time I ran Declone and Ubers in D2 LOD on single player and on D2R on single player, both times was with a Barbarian using dual lightsabers, so could put an AM in it. I mean, it's cheap. I don't know if you'd want to use the Sake quest on something like that, but maybe if you do, I could see it. I think lightsabers already have Mana Leech on them, right? So I personally probably wouldn't, but I mean, I wouldn't be, you know, if that's what you want to use it for, it's what you want to use it for, right? Mopar says he thinks Phase Blades can drop Ethereal. Let's see what the Google AI says. And the thing is that AI is always right. So in D2R, can Phase Blades drop Ethereal? According to AI, no, Phase Blades cannot drop Ethereal items. This is because Phase Blades are inherently indestructible, and the Ethereal property is incompatible with the Indestructible mod. While they can be upgraded to Ethereal from other items like Crystal Swords and Dimensional Blades, they will never drop it in that state, according to Google AI. And also Reddit. Which is another place where it has to be true. But yeah, I thought that was the case. Like, you could find an Ethereal Ginther's Rift and then upgrade it if you wanted to, and it'd still be Ethereal. It'd be a Phase Blade. What I do remember, though, because I did this thinking it was a great idea, I forget the reason why, but the maximum damage goes down. Like, I forget what the max damage is. It's only like 120 or 30 something on a Ginther's Rift. When you upgrade it, the maximum damage goes down, and then the minimum damage goes up a whole bunch, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, some really weird thing happened, and at the time people were like, yeah, Phil, duh, everyone knows that. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that. Sorry, bro. Yeah, the base damage on the phase blade is less. I guess you just think of the higher base having higher damage, but it's just like a lot faster, I guess, of a base. Don't forget, YouTube, hit that like button for me. YouTube. Drink some more water here. Oh, Brad, what's going on up there? I started getting a little behind on the comments. Oh, Sergeant Frosty, I didn't see your comment up there where you said, what happens if you upgrade a Ginther's Rift? So yeah, it upgrades it to Phase Blade. It does eliminate the durability. I believe that's what I remember. So then it's ethereal and it is indestructible. Horace says, nice build. Enjoy, appreciate you. Yeah, Nova's pretty cool. For sure. Extreme Bro saying, yeah, the attack speed on the base, so you don't need as much IS on your gear. Gotcha. Makes sense, yeah. Attacking faster or getting to the max breakpoint easier. Gives you a lot more flexibility to have other stuff on there, and the faster you attack, the more times Crushing Blow and Deadly Strike can happen. Can I share my playlist? If you exclamation music in the Twitch or YouTube for that matter, George, on top of it, Legend. So there's a link to the guy's YouTube channel, and this playlist is the heavy metal playlist. So the Nightbot right there, I think there's a delay. Oh, I guess you can put it in as many times as you want in a row. Usually I have a thing on there so you can only hit the exclamation like once a minute or something, so it doesn't spam it up. But yeah, heavy metal playlist. First Ist and Co in the pits, started 30 in the 30 minutes, and bam, nice. I started in the 30 minutes. So you're saying you only played for 30 minutes and got those? I believe. Congratulations, though. Ist and Co. Ralroon, Cruel Colossus Sword of Quickness, you can do it. Oh. No good. $330. God, I swear, now I feel that fly landing on me all the time. Unbelievable. When's the caster Amy video coming? Oh no. I don't know when. Pretty soon though. Next time I need a video and I'm not ready probably. Those videos are kind of some of the easier ones to make. and they can be mega exciting. So it's like a good combo, easy to make, and they can be super hype. I gotta double check if I got enough junk jewels. I think I saved up at least like 150, but I don't remember how many, you know. Klaatu Magneto, current thoughts on the Moon Beast game. I think it's pretty cool. It's so early on that you know, in the quote unquote development or whatever. I'm not sure. You know, there's just so much more like to like see in the game or whatever, but so far from what it is, and so many different things can change, because one of the community managers actually hopped into my stream and said just a couple little things, like the which is what I assumed. The skill tree on there is like super mega rough. They were just like, all right, these are the skills we kind of want to use, and they're just like, just plug them on there and put some nodes on it, and just to get so you can play and use the skills we developed already, you know. So it's not even like, it's the most roughest form of the skill tree, like the most basic form and stuff like that. And I don't know what else in the game is like that. The skill tree is like fine. It kind of looks a lot like the Diablo 4 skill tree maybe, but I mean, a skill tree, I mean, they kind of just look like they look, I guess, huh? Sort of. But yeah, I think it's cool. I actually liked it more today when I played it than I did the other day. I thought it was okay the other day, and I liked it a little bit more today. Like, when an item actually drops, like the other days, I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I guess this one has more of a DPS, like, per second on it, so I guess I'll use that. But then I finally got, like, an idea of, like, what I'm looking for, and, you know, I'm like, ooh, this looks like a lot better, and I throw it on, and whoa, I'm doing more damage, let's go, you know? So, it's pretty cool. I would say my only complaint with it is it's like a personal preference type of situation. You know, I just like the dark Diablo 2 aesthetic, you know what I mean? But that's not what that game is, right? I think that they said somewhere in their posts, I can't remember exactly where, but like they specifically said because they came from Diablo 2, they probably knew that there would be that kind of comparison. Diablo 2 is what's it called, like dark gothic, like blood spatter, dead corpses, you know, like just like fleshy meat gobs from me exploding them, you know, like it's not like that, you know. It's more, it's dark fantasy is what they said. So there's kind of an aesthetic preference that you could say, and that is one thing, just me being like a 40-year-old man. You know, my preferences are just blood and guts and gore, and you know. But yeah, a visceral game. Says Randy, yeah, you know. Yeah, reference to the Moon Beast game, George. Yeah, so it doesn't look like, I'm not gonna say it like, oh man, this game looks like terrible, it's so stupid, but just that type of look. It's not my favorite, but the most important thing with the game is how good it plays and how the gearing and everything like that. Like up until like 4 years ago, we were all playing this. So to say graphics are the most important thing, this is what I was playing until a couple of years ago. So usually when I play on the old graphics for more than like 5 seconds, everybody leaves. So we'll see what happens. And when I stop to think about it too, like there's games that are sort of along that same vein or theme, like that I really like Fable. Fable isn't like a super dark, you know, kind of game like this. It's not an AR. Well, actually, it is kind of an ARPG, isn't it? But it's almost like I don't want to say whimsical is the right word, but like, you know, kind of like fantasy, but almost like comical fantasy. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not great at labeling things, I guess, you know. But how many left? If you're talking about Grailers, one. 33. I mean, I guess you're not wrong. You don't really look at the gore that much. You just look at the labels on the screen, the name of the items. I guess that's kind of true. And it's just another, like, you know, I just want to stress this is personal preference type of thing. Something about purples and pinks in a game where you're fighting monsters, it just is a little bit, it just automatically brings my brain to a certain place, you know what I mean? Like, something about purples and pinks. I don't know. Fable should come to Switch. Yeah, Fable, pretty cool game, actually, huh? Pretty cool game. Sweet Phil's White Whale Tales, my true story. Cartoon fantasy. Arnoriel. Are you talking about for Fable?
What can I do for you?
I sorry, I got a little behind there. I missed what that one was in reference to. Kidding me? Okay. The dumbest fly of all. It's just sitting here. Hopefully I got him. He must be just crawling all over me. Oh boy. Sorry, to sneeze there. Noriel said, yeah, trying to find the right way to describe it. Maybe cartoony fantasy for Fable. Maybe that's a good way to describe it. I'm not really sure. Because the first one is more like cartoony almost than the second and the third one. But WoW was similar, Arnoriel says it. A little bit. WoW is way more colorful, cartoony than, you know, almost anything else I've ever seen, probably. But I'm not a person who knows all kind of games, I guess. So appreciate you, Cheese Nip. Yo. Joseph says been collecting charms, poison DPS. Hopefully this is worth for Necro. Charms with poison DPS. So if you are a poison Necro and you have charms down here with like 100 poison damage, that's not going to apply to your the skills you cast. FYI. So hopefully that's not what you meant. But if luckily I saved you, if that's what you were trying to do. Phil, you'd hate playing the Emperor's Children in 40k. Yeah, I've never even heard of that before. So Magna style. Gray, I also don't know what that means. I guess I'm so out of the loop. I'm boomer over here, huh? Mewtwo says every game has its own style. Yeah, that's a good call. True story, true story. Have you ever posted with all the Q&As from the China interview? I did look over them. I didn't like sit there and read it for 45 minutes, but I like looked at the thing and I scrolled and kind of skimmed the answer real quick and everything. But 3366, yo, bunch of numbers and letters. Thank you so much for the Slayership. Made you love D2 again? Crazy. Nice. Thank you once again for the Slayership. Horus. Someone might have mentioned it. Yes, Cody did. The Iron Golem is an insight for the meditation aura. Keep your mana up all the time. Ooh, what if those were ethereal 640s? Oh my god. They were 140s. Didn't know Iron Golem could do that? Oh, well, now you do. Yeah, if you make an Iron Golem out of an item that has an aura, the Iron Golem gets that aura. So a lot of crazy lunatics might say they make their Iron Golem out of like Pride or out of Beast, because Beast has fanaticism on it. I would never. Infinity, I'm never that crazy. Never, ever, ever, ever. Truthfully, a skilled player. Well, I've been playing long enough. I mean, I'm not the greatest D2 player, but I know a thing or two. Socket quest for a Haas. Probably, if you're going to use a Haas, I would say you probably socket it. And we kind of talked about it earlier a little bit. Someone else was asking. I usually think I put an rune in it. Usually just get the reses up completely overcapped and ready to rock. So Infinity Iron Golem, jeez. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but you think I have no idea, Chicho, what that is. The Galactic Empire? That must be something from Star Wars, I guess? I don't know. Confirm I can use an ethereal base for Infinity and it won't lose durability if I'm just casting traps and novas, right? Yes, Parker, yeah. If you are personally not physically attacking with it, you can make your Infinity in an ethereal base and it'll have lower strength requirement. And I mean, also, hypothetical situation, we were talking earlier how I made my Mancatcher Infinity in an ethereal Mancatcher, and I was self-wielding that on my Nova Sorceress for a while because I didn't want to make a second Infinity on offline single player. And yeah, you can. Oh, I forgot. Get me all confused there. You can absolutely 200 ferocious. You can make it in an ethereal base and you'll be fine as long as you're only casting. And by casting, you know, Nova Sorceress or throwing traps is fine too. Yeah. The Daxis saying they made their Iron Golem out of a beast one time, which is awesome. It's great. Until it dies. I believe that one. Holy moly. Hard pass. Horace, appreciate you. Say you appreciate the time I take to make content for everybody. Very kind of you, very kind of you. No need to thank me though. Straight up. Honestly, thank you all for watching the videos and the streams and stuff. And of course, hitting the like button. Mopar says doesn't have it diamond maybe. Yeah, I mean that's fine. Diamonds are so cheap that I mean hypothetically you found an grab a hell rune in a town portal and just zap it out and stick the rune in it, right? Can you make Iron Golems out of bows, asks George. You cannot. I tried that before, and I actually said it in a video, and I was like, crap. I just thought you could. I guess I didn't look in, you know, while back here, few years back, but I was like, I thought you could. Like, I could have swore you could. Said it in a video, and someone's like, dude, no, you totally can't. Maybe that's not how it went. Maybe I just tried to make a video like that and then I went to make it and I'm like, oh, it didn't work. Interesting. Actually, I think that's what happened. That's actually what happened. It is exactly what happened now that I think about it. So yeah, no, bows are technically Iron Golem has to be something that has metal, like metal on it. Like, you know, obviously wooden handle, but you got the axe head for the iron, you know? So bows are just wood, I guess, so technically. $33 says made my death a couple days ago. Not having to repair on a Fury Druid is freaking awesome. Gotcha. Yeah, death indestructible. Now that you mention it, forget about that. Wasn't thinking. Yeah. Not repairing on the Fury Druid. Oh, boo. Piperanga. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a good day. Of evisceration. I find out of all Golem, Iron Golem is truthfully special. Creating out of... I'm not sure what that second part there means, Paris. Sorry. But I do know what this is. Stone of Jordan. Dang it. The clip is so much cooler when it's actually a Stone of Jordan. 87 times of... it's constantly not a Stone of Jordan. Then the one time. The one time that it is, though. One day it'll be true. Well, I've nailed it a few times. See, all you have to do to call it an SOJ is to find like 800 unique rings, and then like 3 of them will be Stones of Jordan. There you go. That's all you gotta do. Parker said, got a grandfather at the Reaper's Toll yesterday. Almost fell out of his chair. Nice. I just found my first Ethereal Reaper's Toll, like, within the last month. Kind of crazy. Speaking of another thing, I need to go through and just socket everything I need to socket. So I found a new Nightwings with a much higher cold, plus cold damage. I need to socket that. My Reaper's Toll I need to socket. I actually think I have a better Griffins than I ever had before that I need to socket. Probably a Death's Fathom. Probably this D-Web. I'm just so lazy. So lazy. Not completely lazy, I guess. I did, if you guys noticed, organize my shared stash and everything this morning. So... creativity aspect of Iron Golem. Oh, I guess I get you. Like, you're just saying, like, thinking of using different things to make your Iron Golem out of. Yeah, so the insight thing, I mean, maybe you're not necessarily saying this, but I didn't come up with it. I learned that from somebody else. Probably like Dabrowski back in the day or something. But I couldn't even tell you where I learned that. I definitely didn't come up with it myself. And none of the other things would I ever do, so. Ever. This is the GG track, says George. Yeah, George loves this track. Loves it. Deliber says needs to socket his Viper Magi. Uh-oh. Sorry. I didn't sleep very much last night. Whew. I didn't get to sleep till like probably close to 3, and then I woke up at 6:30. So tired little Phil here. Tubby, welcome in. Thanks, Harris. I appreciate it. 2 lives left. Said one day it'll be true. Talking about when I find a unique ring and I call the SOJ. Yeah. Wait, did I read that one and then say, I've actually been true a few times. You only have to find 800 rings and 3 of them will be an SOJ. I don't remember if I read that comment or if I replied that to something else. Oh boy. Did I socket a shale in the Reaper's Toll? That's kind of the go-to, yeah. Most people shale rune in there, I suppose. I'm not an expert on increased attack speed breakpoints because we'll say for FCR breakpoints, it's like you know, at first it's like 6, 11, 25, like they're pretty close together, but then it goes like 54, 105. It's like a huge jump. The increased attack speed breakpoints, they aren't exactly like that. I don't know exactly what they are because I don't ever memorize them, but like for example, when I have seen them, I looked at them. It's more like increased attack speed breakpoint. It's more like 7, 13, you know, 22, 31, 41, 50, 62. Like it's not as much of a jump each individual one, you know. Like it's almost like they're the same gap between each level, almost, not literally. And also it's annoying to you pretty much have to type it in a calculator to get it to work out right. With the minus base speed and then the increased attack speed, you know, it's like. But from what I hear, for an Act 2 mercenary, plug a shale in, and with Andaro's Visage, I think it hits the highest IAS breakpoint. I could be wrong though, because I'm not an expert on increased attack speed breakpoints, so. It's one of the things I know the least about, but I just know people said this thing, so I think that's true. Like, you know, like I said with a Shaled Reaper's Toll with an Andaro's Visage is like the max increased breakpoint for an Act 2 mercenary. I've just heard that. I've never done the math myself or looked it up, so. Just edit in saying SOJ and nobody'd know the difference. This is a true story. I could just re-record myself with the green screen but not playing the game, and I could just be sitting here like, and I just make myself with the green screen a little bit bigger than me streaming, so it'd just be like covering myself on the screen like this, and it'd just be like Stone of Jordan, but I would just be like green screening myself in. It'd be great. Totally worth it. I have all this credibility, and then it'd be shot, me lying about calling an SOJ. All this credibility I have. Too funny. The streets will remember. You know what else we'll remember? How many of you hit the like button on YouTube? 59 of you, excuse me. 159 on YouTube, another 46 on Twitch. Make sure y'all hit the like button for me. If you're not a bum, you'll hit the like button. Credit good with you? Appreciate it. You say that until I die one time, and then I blame you specifically for that death because I can't take credit for it myself. Thanks a lot, 33. No. Just kidding, of course. I don't remember how that joke started. Me always blaming chat for everything. I guess it doesn't matter much now. Cold Plains, legendary. Wait a second. Mad Bishy Bosh farming? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Said he didn't want to be a bum this time. Legend. This one time, he says. Only this one time. Absolute legend. Trash, what is happening? What's going on? Slaying demons? Finding godly gear? Haven't really found much godly yet, but actually, I dare to say that 7 MF 9 poison res charm was pretty awesome. I dare to say it. Cheesy Trist useless as extreme bro. Yeah, and maybe not the greatest. I do like the early Act 1 Terror Zones. Good for just super early on in ladder when you got Garbo characters, you're trying to figure out how to get a Sunder Charm or something. Also killing monsters that are, you know, like right around your level, getting good experience or whatever, but not so high that they might be too hard for you to kill depending on what your level is. You know, they got their use. Not as good as TZ Talrash's Tombs, am I right? And then online too, it's annoying because teleporting around and you like can't find the waypoint, or God forbid you don't have teleport yet on ladder in the first week. You're just like, oh my gosh, where's the freaking portal, bro? Why can't I find it? I'm due for a nice rune. I agree. Mega do. Let's see what's going on here. Where's my bish at? Is he right here? No. Right here? Nope. Right. Well, I guess if I come across some other packs. Nope. I don't remember where my guy's at. Used every corpse. Not the best Terror Zone, but I was planning to just find Bishibosh and run that real quick, but looking like that might not be happening. Just gotta find him. Here we go, I think. Over here? There they are. Three resistances. Okay, so that's not too far. It's right here. I just went the wrong way. Ringing a bell now. I feel like I've done this in the not so distant past. Chat GPT Naret says, tells him the Lions are going 15-2. I think they're going to lose more than 2 games. I can tell you that much. The main reason is because I think our entire division got better. You never know what could happen with injuries. You know, who knows with Green Bay if, you know, 2 of the receivers go down like it's happened every year, and then Josh Jacobs goes down, and then, you know, Love goes down, and you're like, they're garbage now. So, or, you know, Chicago. I mean, they'd probably be better if they lost Caleb Williams, I guess, but maybe Ben Johnson is like the bee's knees, you know, and just completely turns the team around. But I think they're going to lose more games than that, personally. Maybe like 4 or 5. Light Ox got some 47 MF Wartraps. Congratulations. Emilio. hit that button on accident. Every time I see a diadem, you just think griffins, right? Lawless Amethyst. Oh, Bish is way over here. What's going on? I mean, at level 6, I would lose my mind if I found that, but... Could you imagine level 6 in Act 1? You're like... I mean, I guess the other stuff on there doesn't help too much. 5 life, 1 energy, but... Touche. 14 max stamina, though. Actually, at level 6, 14 max stamina would actually help you. Yes, I just need more max stamina. So, I am going to shout out something. Speaking of football. Speaking of football. Only if you like fantasy football. I did start this other channel, Fantasy Football Phil. So if you are interested in, you know, watching any of these videos, they got like no views. This one got a little bit here. I mean, it's got over 300, right? So only subscribe if you actually want to watch football and you like fantasy football type content. I'm gonna pop a link in the chats of both of these, and maybe you can go over and subscribe up if you want to. But yeah, if you, like I said, if you don't like football, don't worry about it. I'm not just trying to pump the subscriber numbers or anything. Because really the way the algorithm works and stuff, if people subscribe and then like the videos go into their feed, but then they don't watch the videos, it's actually like worse for your channel than just not having the subscribers at all. So, where's just the button to share your channel name or whatever? Oh, there we go. So this link should take you over there. Just a little plug for my other channel. Only if you like fantasy football. If not, no big deal. Just kind of a for fun thing I was doing, but I mean, obviously, you know, get some more content to entertain people, you know, in front of your faces. So yes, actual football is what I mean. Yeah. Football. Fantasy football in general. Not soccer. No, it is actual football. Yep. I know what you're getting at. The Dexis. I know what you're getting at. Go Birds, says Light Ox. So is that for the Eagles? Because there's like 17 different bird teams. Or is that like a joke? Like, you talking about the Cardinals? Are you talking about the Falcons? Are you talking about the Eagles? That's the Eagles one, gotcha. I thought it was Eagles, but... First pick in your fantasy draft, the only guy I know I'll get is DeMar Chase. Nailed it. Can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong there. Yeah, I'm in the only league I'm in for sure this season, to be honest, is a keeper league I'm in. That's way too expensive. The entry fee, they raised it, and I'm like, Jesus, why is it so expensive? But I better win this year, I guess. I have 3 keepers, and they are Bijan, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr. So I got gold. I'm like golden as far as keepers. I have 2 first-round picks, which would be the, I believe it's the 3rd pick overall, and the like 6th, I think, or 5th. And I have 2 second-round picks, which would be something like 15 and 18 or something like that. So, yeah, for keepers, like 3 young dudes, like I could keep them for another 7 years. Maybe not 7. Running backs usually don't last past that age, but easily for like another 3 years, like they could be my keepers. And what's the odds that I could get better than that in the next few years? Like a better keepers, you know what I mean? Doubtful. You'd reach for Gibbs, but you're biased. Yeah, it's tough. You know, I guess you could be a homer. I could be a homer and go Gibbs. You know, I'm from around Detroit. But realistically, if I was being honest, you gotta go Chase, pretty much. Of course, who knows? He might get hurt right off the bat there. So, Arnoriel, yeah, I mean he's probably from over the pond. You know that their football is the football, and yeah, we're kind of the same way. Our football is the real football, and to them, their football is the real football. All in good fun, good banter, you know. I'm sorry, Mutu up here a minute ago. If you're still here, you said I want to know like how the game is. I'm not sure what you're referring to on that comment. Sorry, if you want me, if you're still here, put in what you were talking about there. I forgot if we were talking about the other Moonbeast game or NFL football, or kind of confused. Confused myself by getting too far behind on the chat. My apologies. Marty! Coworker is a Lions fan. It's my second to cheer for if the Eagles get eliminated. I get the feeling trying to win your first Super Bowl. And I like Dan Campbell, but he is also risky at times. Yeah, he's too risky at times, that's for sure. I was watching, okay, so on Netflix, they have this show called Quarterbacks where they follow around 3 or 4 quarterbacks, you know? This year they did 3, and one of them was Jared Goff from this last season. And I didn't really think about it this way, but because on 4th down they go for it so much, teams like always think they're going for it. So if they walk up to try to draw them off sides, you can do it way easier, which is comical. I never thought about it that way. Like, you're literally, by going for it on 4th down in situations where it's not as important, you can actually go up to the line and get them to false start, but because they think you're going for it when you really weren't going to. You know what I mean? Pretty funny. Marty said, hit the like button, smellers. Nice. Yeah. Everybody knows to do that. Don't even have to remind them. You want to know how fantasy football is, you're saying, Mewtwo? Okay, so you pretty much have like a draft where you pick players. Everybody just pick up it's called a snake draft. It just goes back and forth across the board, list of names. And you just draft and pick who you want. And like, let's say a player gets a touchdown for their team, and you can draft anybody in the whole NFL. Let's say somebody gets a touchdown, Jamar Chase, my fantasy team gets 6 points. And then let's say my quarterback or my running back runs for 110 yards today. You get a point for every 10 yards. So I'd get 11 points. There's also other bonuses to where, like, sometimes you might get 1 point for every catch a player makes, a reception, and stuff like that. And there's all these different criteria. Sometimes they have bonuses to where, let's say your player does really good and gets 150 fantasy points. You might get a point for every 10 yards, but if you get 125 yards, your guy will get an extra 5 points. And then every 25 points past that, he'll get another 5 points. So it would be 150 yards would be 15 plus 10, so it'd be 25 points right there. It all depends on how your league and your friends decide you want to do the scoring. Yeah, you can draft anybody from anywhere in the fantasy football or anywhere in the NFL. And you only draft offensive players, though. Houston. So I'm only in the one league right now. It's like a keeper league. So, I mean, the number one overall pick is pretty, like, I don't go too crazy with it. Everybody says Jamar Chase, and he is awesome, so that's kind of what I'm saying, but I wouldn't blame anybody else if they wanted to go Saquon, or some people are loving, like, Bijan this year for number one overall. Some people say Gibbs, even. So... but I wouldn't go too crazy, and I would just say Chase, I guess. Wait, isn't this the one? I think this is actually that Dragoon's teaching, yeah. So, funny enough, it has a 10% chance of level 3 Frost Nova. Earlier, someone was talking about their Zealer. I was dying all the time, and I could not get good gear. This is before I had a YouTube channel. I found this, and I was like, it has a huge amount of max damage. Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and use it. And you're attacking so fast with that 40 increased attack speed and Zeal. There's Frost Novas flashing off everywhere, freezing all the monsters. And actually, like, was working out for me. So, little budget option if you really are hard up, like really hard up on a weapon for a Zealer. Does fantasy soccer also exist? Probably. I don't know about it, but I'm sure it does. They have fantasy hockey, baseball, football, pretty much every sport. Lego Mike says, just woke up and can hear me slaying from here. Just anywhere in Michigan you can hear the slaying, huh? Ooh. John Hansen says, football coming soon, can't wait. I both can't wait, and I'm like nervous. So I was talking about it earlier because I'm going to have to watch football. So that means I'm going to have to stop doing something else. So I don't know what that's going to be. I can't just like not watch football, am I right? Like, so my Sundays are just blocked off now. Nothing else. No work. No going anywhere with the fam. Mopar Man says, while we're on the topic of football, Brady Payton or Drew Brees? It depends how you want to. I don't think Brees is in the conversation. Personally, don't want to offend anybody. I honestly think Manning was kind of better, but like, it's hard to really argue with Tom Brady's like accolades and like accomplishments or whatever you want to call it. Pretty much accomplishments. I mean, so many Super Bowls and like for so long, and I mean, I guess you kind of got to say Brady, but honestly, I think if it wasn't for a few things here and there, being, you know, the team you're on with the coaches you're on and whatnot, and I think Brady was kind of better than, or I think Manning was kind of better than Brady, but like I said, it's like impossible to argue with, like, you know, 15 touchdowns or 15 Super Bowls or whatever Tom Brady got. So Arnoriel says, if there's fantasy Dota 2, and there is, definitely, then there surely is fantasy soccer. There, you can draft a fantasy Dota team. I couldn't imagine how that would work. Because that's a video game, of course. So you draft the competitive players? I've never heard of that before. I guess I've seen video game like DFS, but not like season long. What are we talking about here? What does Dota stand for again? I can't remember. I know it's a game, but I can't remember what it stands for. Defense of the Ancients? Interesting. I couldn't remember that. Tierra? Yeah, forget it. Let's see. Parker's got his draft on the 30th. Can't wait. Yeah, I forgot. That might be the same day I got mine. No, I want to pull up the calendar, bro. That's you. Oh, I think ours is on the... Oh, I think ours is on maybe the 1st. Because... it's like... that's a holiday weekend, right? I think everybody wanted it on the 1st, on the, like, that night or whatever, before they go back to work. That's what they decided on. And I'm just like, that's fine, whatever. I'll make whatever work, so... Parker said Brady's the best, and he's even a Pats fan, but he loved watching Breeze. Yeah, I mean, I get you. I just, I kind of just my opinion. I don't think Breeze is in the same conversation, really. Fancy F1 and NASCAR too. You have some other stuff that I've seen, like DraftKings, like daily fantasy. Yeah, I guess they develop fantasy sports for everything, huh? Is a 2-sin circlet worth keeping? So a 2 to assassin skills circlet, I think you pretty much need walk run on it, and or FCR and some other stuff for it to have any trade value. If it's just 2 to sin skills and then like not much else on there to really help you out, if it's like you know, if it's got like 4 to life with like 11 lightning res and like 15 to max stamina or something, you know, and that's all it's on it, it's not gonna be really worth anything just as is like that. And for it to have like any, yeah, that's one of those things that the circlets, in my experience anyways, they're either completely worthless and nobody ever wants them and you can't trade them, and then in super rare instances, crazy rare, so crazy like rare, probably nothing I've ever found has been good enough, they're worth like a bleep ton, like so much it's insane.
What can I do for you?
But anything under that, it's worth like nothing. That's just what I've seen. Andy says deflate gate forever stain him. Yeah, well, for that, to be honest, like the cover up is the worst part, to be perfectly honest. Like having a little bit less air in the football, like, I mean, I guess that's cheating, which it is, it's against the rules, but like if you do something against the rules, you get called out on it and you take the penalty, you know what I mean? Like technically holding is against the rules, and if you do it on purpose, you're cheating. But like, you're telling me that linemen don't hold on purpose, and then if they get caught, they just take the consequences, you know? It happens all the time. They hold on purpose against the rules. They do something against the rules intentionally. So honestly, if he wouldn't have wasn't Deflategate the whole like he destroyed the phone and they found his text somehow and there's this or that or something. I don't remember the full details, I guess, but it was the fact that he did all this stuff to cover it up, right? See, Lightox says Peyton had great talent, but Tom Brady in the clutch was awesome. That's what makes him better. I don't know, Brady was crazy, or I mean, Manning was crazy. Like different interviews I've heard, like from him and like his coaches, they didn't call plays. Like he would just call his own plays and then, or like walk up to the line and then call the play. You know what I mean? Like they didn't even have offensive coordinator calling plays like for a lot of his career, or head coach calling the plays. Like he was the play caller for the teams he was at. Like he was running the offense completely. So pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever heard that about Brady necessarily. Obviously, 2-minute drill and stuff like that they always do, or they have the hurry up that they might run sometimes. But like Peyton was that all the time, you know. But Lego Mike says Lions better pick up where they left off. I know, right? I think they're going to be okay without Ben Johnson. You know what? I keep forgetting to look into it. I don't know if you would know this, or I mean, I got to look it up sometime. Who's actually calling the plays for him this season? Is it going to be the new OC that they got now, or is it going to be Dan Campbell? I don't really know. I don't know who I would want it to be either. Pyro mobs, what's going on? I don't know what that means. Oh, hello. Oh, that's what it means. It means hello. Took me a second. Hello. Ask away, I suppose, as long as it's not something crazy or weird. Brady owned Manning in the playoffs. I believe that's true. That sounds accurate. It's been a while since I looked into their rivalry, but I think that's true. Oh, man. Boy, today's been underwhelming on the drops. Can't win them all, I guess, huh? First time online season, I took a Barb for my first champ. Is that good? Your first ever character Barb, in my opinion, is going to be a tough one for you. I'm not telling you don't do anything like that, but the melee characters in D2 are usually underpowered relative to casters. So I will warn you of that. So if you haven't gotten too far, it's not one that's not what I would recommend, that's for sure. I would say Sorceress, Paladin, something like, you know, is probably the first ones I would recommend. I completely forgot what I was doing there for a second. I was thinking so hard about what I was saying. Completely lost what I was doing. Just missed the Super Bowl of I1 game, says Lego Mike. Yeah, it depends on what year you're talking about. Not last year, but the one before that, we made it to the NFC Championship game. Last year, we got the bye week, and then we lost the first game to the stinking, Washington Commanders. Unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully we keep it going. John Hansen says, best thing you got was a gull. Better than what I got so far today. Andy said he rocked Breath of the Dying Hydra. A Zon with Breath of the Dying Hydra. What do you mean by that, I guess? But stacking up poison charms? You were proccing Hydras and using the poison damage, I guess? But, interesting.
Light 0x donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Had to run, but wanted to show you some love before I left. Always have your videos playing while I farm, and when I'm about to quit you seem to find something that keeps me going. Lol.
LOL. I love the way they voice said that at the end. LOL. Thank you so much, Light Ox, for the $10 Super Chat. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for the generosity, Light Ox. Rune word pound in the poison, says Andy. Gotcha. Should I respec from Faux Pally to Hammerden? Impossible for me to say whether you quote unquote should fear Turkey. They're both good. They're both very good. So yeah, I'm not sure what to tell you necessarily. Faux, you're going to be doing Chaos a ton, or maybe the pits and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more pigeonholed into an area. You can do Trav and stuff. You can do a lot of stuff still. It's not crazy pigeonholed, but there's a few less areas you can do. There's a few extra areas you can do with hammers that you can't do with Fists of the Heavens. So they're both great choices. So yeah, I don't know which one to recommend, I guess. You got Pyro Mob said you got a bunch of free stuff from people, but it's so high level you can't use it. Yeah, it's hard to say because online there too, Pyro, like you're gonna get someone to rush you, or like if you're playing through the game yourself, like mostly solo or something, which is what a lot of people's first time they do. It's going to be tough playing through with a barb. So that's just, you know, just me, what I would say. 33 is rocking Countess, nothing to call home about. Yeah, another unlucky traveler, huh? Whoops. This is the point in the playlist where the song plays twice. Dedexis saying Berserk Barb is easy, just kind of slow. Like Berserk Barb on a playthrough, huh? I mean, pretty slow. Berserk doesn't leech anything too, so that's kind of always the issue that I find. I don't think I've ever done a strictly Berserk Barb playthrough. I guess it is magic damage, so nothing to be immune to, hardly ever. Yeah, John says, Faux Pally tears up chaos now. True story. Sure does, sure does. You say you just did one until you get it, you farmed up and got an unbending will. Yeah, wow, unbending will. What base did you put that in on a playthrough? Because 6-socketed bases don't come until hell difficulty, right? So that's always a toughie, finding a 6-socketed Colossus blade or a phase blade, I guess. Phase blade's damage so low though. Not really an unbending will expert. So Fear Turkey says he's been enjoying Fists of the Heavens, but on the playthrough can't take out the Ancients. Yeah, you'll get the one immune to lightning for sure. Huh. Yeah, I would say, I don't know, if you're only at Hell Ancients, that's all you need to do. You don't know if you should change or not. I mean, maybe you could find a way around it, like, I don't know how much lightning damage your foe's doing, and if you went the Fist of the Heavens Conviction Aura route, oh boy, I don't know. If you can get, let's see, if you do that one wall trick, where the guy that keeps leaping at you and you keep popping up a town portal, and eventually you build an invisible wall, trap them behind it, and then you could like lower res them and then drop foes on them to take them out. I don't know if the conviction ore would reach far enough all the way to the invisible wall, because if you get too close, then they can teleport through it at you or whatever. So respect to hammers. Yeah, specific. Well, I don't know. Specifically for the ancients, I guess if you have all 3 respecs, you might as well use one and get past it, I guess. I don't know. Hard to say at that point. I generally, on a playthrough with a paladin, would say go hammers in general. But if you're already all the way there, you know, I don't know how much you really want to use a respec. So the thing is too, is that you could, if you're a Fist of the Heavens, you can half dual spec into you know, a lot of other stuff. Like you could probably easily, I don't know about easily, this would probably work though, with if you're Fist of the Heavens, you probably have, do you have 1 point into smite? You could honestly just find something that has crushing blow and stuff and just smite them to death, right? Oh yeah, Mopar Manor at the very second when I was saying that, he just said smite. I forget that kind of crossed my mind. Like just 1 point into smite landing every time. Blast, blast, blast. Yeah, right? So yeah, if you have any goblin toes, boots, or anything like that, and just smite, 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 smite. You can give her a whirl anyways, wouldn't hurt to try if you already got the stuff. So here, looking at the time, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I'm honestly not feeling very great either. I've been kind of like trying to mask it or whatever, but I'm so tired, and I don't even know. I just don't feel that great. It's probably from not sleeping last night, but either way, having a good time slaying demons. But I'm gonna go ahead and call her a day. So I will say peace out. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Keep slaying demons. Hopefully you get lucky. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Peace out, fellas.